Welcome to Meditate and More. I'm Sophia, and our pick a card reading and question for today is, what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? So group 1, we have the amethyst pyramid. Group 2 is the shell. Group 3 is the citrine. And group 4 is the geode. So let's start the reading. Okay, what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? So like and subscribe and hit the bell for more readings for when they come through. Let's have a look. Wow. Okay, there's a bit going on here. So what we're looking at here is what appears to be something that is really quite family orientated. The foundation is very solid, but underneath there's a lot of not quite good stuff happening, and you need to be warned, group 1. So we're talking about here is reward. It's possibly like money coming through. Let me think. If someone inherits something, that's what I was thinking of. So money coming through from an inheritance or a gain of some sort. So for you, group 1, I see this coming through, and possibly even you're living in that energy already, or that somebody sees you as having more than what they do, because the devil card here is all about temptation and deceit. It can also be successful in business as well. It can be quite a good and positive card when it's surrounded by good and positive cards. But what you have here is loss and grief, and you have the card of nightmares. So something really challenging has happened for you. And I'm feeling that you've got this person around you, or series of people. It may even be a group, a corporation, something like that, that has deceived you and deceived your trust. And it feels like that you have lost something of significance, or could, if you're not careful. So just be mindful what this person is really thinking and feeling about you. It isn't completely honest. It's there's something underneath that they're not revealing to you, and it could be that they don't want to lose what's important to them, or they don't want to lose what you have at the risk of them having less. I'm feeling here the Queen of Pentacles is representing you. Now that typically talks about a female who is very grounded in herself and very practical. It could be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or somebody who has those signs in their background. But just someone who's clear thinking and quite ambitious in themselves. And I feel that what they've done is got themselves here with maybe support from family, or like I said, a win or a gain or inheritance. The base card here is the card of romance and partnership. But I would be careful, group 1. This card is the card of nightmares. So this is saying, with the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords being very quite heavy cards, and let's have a look and see what they're talking about. So sacrifice is around this, something that has been lost is perceived as a sacrifice, and this card here around work has been very challenging. So with you being the deceit that's around you, this King of Hearts is a kind-hearted man, but I'm feeling that in their woundedness, this is the journey that's moving forward. So it may appear as if all's good from the surface, but underneath there's this undulating energy. They may have, it may not have been you that's lost something. It may have been them and sacrifice, their nightmares in work. But it's at the end of the day, they're looking at gaining something from what you have. So just be careful and monitor the situation from that perspective. And just, bide your time, I would say, because in amongst all of this is something that is very unclear. Let me have a look and see what that is. Judgment. Okay, this is about making a sound judgment. If someone's being deceitful or not telling the truth or not telling you everything, sooner or later that will come out in the wash. And this card here of Judgment, like both of these cards are Major Arcana cards, which are strong energy cards. The Judgment card will show you where they're coming from, and you'll be able to, I'm being told, keep them at arm's length, regardless of how you feel about things. And then when you see it clearly, you'll be able to see that what you need to do moving forward is to protect your castle. Okay, so let's have a look here and see what's going on with the next lot of cards, the next deck for you, Group 1. Okay, what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? All right, let's have a look over the top here. That's interesting. Go there. All right, so Seven of Stones is quite a challenging card in this deck. They're feeling that they've been a failure. They're feeling that they haven't been able to provide for themselves even properly. So as far as you're concerned, they feel like they could never stand up and, you know, be a real man. So underneath all of this is this face, this mask is bravado, okay? The Seven of Swords, again, uselessness. So they're feeling useless and they're feeling a failure. This card here, it can be the Daughter of Cups of Hearts or the Princess of Cups. It's talking about wanting to connect and news that comes from the heart, but I'm feeling with the other cards around it, I would be stepping back and letting them move through their stuff. You can't fix somebody while they're going through their stuff. The best thing you can do is to hold the space for them and allow them to move through their journey. It's a bit like when you've experienced challenging times, the best thing you could do was to journal, was to get clear, was to seek therapy, not to have somebody try and whitewash it. So the Sun, this card here, the Sun of Stones, which is the, again, it's a card that it talks about new beginnings, but I'm feeling the weight here. This card is talking about being an advocate, but I'm feeling like it's an advocate for a new beginning. The rest of the cards are talking about new beginnings. So I'm feeling this person, what they're thinking and feeling about you right now, is that when they've moved through their challenges, their hurdles, their wounded part of themselves, they're looking at moving forward, and I'm feeling it's going to be quite a spiritual journey, because the Six of Swords indicates a spiritual journey, moving away from something to something else. Now you've got here the blank card. Now the blank card indicates it's like anything can happen. You can have plans, you can have thinking that you've got everything planned out, maybe an Excel spreadsheet, something like that, and all of a sudden everything changes. The blank card is I won't say the devil's advocate, it's a leave it open for the universe to step in and allow what you would never have ever believed was possible to occur. And this is letting go of control. So this card here is the card of rebirth, and it's about letting, when somebody goes through these feelings of the loss, the sacrifice, the ruin, and then feels a failure and uselessness, then you've got, and then heads on a spiritual journey, you've got a rebirth where there's a release. Now this is quite a big reading for somebody what they're thinking and feeling towards you. So I'm feeling that, this person is moving through a lot of their own personal stuff. And in regards to you, they're feeling that, they are looking at something but down the track. And you'd want to know that it's for the right reason, if it is at all. So the rebirth for them may be because they actually need to take a look at themselves and actually be honest about where they're coming from before they go any further. So when we look at what they're thinking and feeling about you, I'm looking at their being wanting to connect, wanting new beginnings, going on their own spiritual journey, and sort of like, where do I go from here? I feel that there'll be an event that occurs that will really take them like an awakening of sorts. Okay, so let's have a look and see what that awakening is, and are they able to turn whatever's been occurring for them in their world around. So what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? Okay, this is good. Okay. All right, there's an extra one. So, heart-to-heart conversations. This card's really lovely because at the bottom of everything is the truth. When somebody isn't clear within themselves, then you're going to get this deceit. They're not going to know themselves to be able to communicate clearly to anybody else. So heart-to-heart conversation is about where you are here. And this oversees everything. Okay? So you've got this going on here. And you've got layers. There's absolute layers to all of this. Over here, the time you have spent together, I feel there was genuine connection. I really do. It says, enjoy the bliss of holiday time spent together. Enjoy that time. Enjoy that connection. But in yourself, let go of control issues and allow things to unfold naturally. And that's where this card here, the blank card, allow things to unfold. They may not be, and they probably won't be, how you want them to be at any given point in time. But ultimately, this person, I feel, is here as a soulmate in your life, okay? To connect with you, to bring something out in you, to show you something that you haven't been able to find in yourself yet. And I feel it's a very, very valuable lesson. And you'll find that through those heart-to-heart conversations. Now, you've got here career and finances. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So it may be that this person is thinking that they are really, something to do with money. It's like, again, we're going back here to the money, the situation with the money, you having more than they have. I don't feel it was the other way around, and there being some form of deception around it, not being quite sure where they're coming from, and being, needing to be clear about that. And I just feel that the financial issues, they may be needing to get more work, needing to take care of their own finances and or you. And I'm just thinking, how's this connected in with how they're feeling about you? Okay, so this again is about this feeling of inadequacy, this feeling of not being good enough, this feeling of I don't know what I could give this person that they don't already have or haven't given themselves. And that's a real challenge for this person in your life. And I really feel that the energy and what you've been working on is healing family issues. So any relationship you have in your life is tempered back from your original male and female, your key relationships with your mother and father. So whatever is playing out in this relationship, have a look at how that played out in previous relationships, and then back to mother-father energy, and then have a look through the generations to see where those patterns have repeated themselves, and how, from an objective perspective, and how this is starting to shift within you. Because once it shifts within you, it then has the capacity to shift within people around you and heal situations. So this person may have simply come into your life to heal major issues in your family, and has come through at a soulmate level with that, that chemistry, the connection, to be able to teach you discernment, to be able to teach you to trust yourself, to be able to teach you, to let go of control issues, and to be able to, feel your way into and out of, if you need to, a relationship, but also to benefit from what could not have happened any other way, in the form of healing in yourself and others around you. So, group number 1, I hope you've enjoyed this. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you again. Thank you. Hello, group 2. You had the shell. You chose the second lot of cards in the deck, in the pick a card. So I'm just going to leave that there. It's a really pretty shell. And like and subscribe and hit the bell for any future readings when they're released. So group 2, what we're looking for today is, what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? So let's have a look and see where... No, the cards don't want... Do they? Don't they? Okay, let's have a look here. That was a bit funny. Okay. What are they thinking and feeling about you right now? The first thing that came to me, this card here, I'm going to place it over here, was they're keeping their feelings and their thoughts to themselves. They're not wanting to share with you how they're feeling. They are... and you're here. You're just here. You're clear. And this person, this person, he, she, they, them, whoever they are. Okay. It's a generic term for whoever the other person is that you're asking the question about. So they're not wanting to share anything. They're not wanting to open up about anything right now. They're actually scared. Okay, they're actually scared of what you are perceived as, of your power, of your strength, of your ability to stand in your own energy and own whatever it is that's yours. And even though they proclaim to be this amazing person and good at this and good at that, and capable, even if it's just capable, they're actually perplexed by you and in awe of you. And they really don't know how to take you from that perspective. And I feel like there's just been this bounce back and trying to figure out what to do with how they feel about how they perceive you, and, where to from here type of thing. So this is somebody that keeps things to themselves, somebody that has learnt to wear a mask, somebody that has learnt to bury their own feelings very deeply, almost to the point of not being able to recognize them themselves. And my question is, are they ready for you? Are they ready to open up, to love, to honor, to cherish, to provide the things that you're requesting in a relationship? And, you've stated what you need and want, and that's what you need to do, because that's how you clear the wheat from the chaff. If you say, this is what I want, and they disappear, you've got rid of a player. If you say, this is what I want, and you give a broader picture, and they're hanging around, well, they're hanging around to see what they can get without having to make any commitments. But this person, they're not giving anything away. And I'd be tending to think that how they're feeling is quite tumultuous, and they really, I don't think they can get you out of their mind. This card here, the King of Swords, he's very clear about what he, and I'm looking at the other person as being this card. He stands in his own power. He's quite clear about what he thinks, and he knows how to speak really well. He knows how to communicate, but underneath, he's keeping things to himself. So that to me is saying that there's not a whole heap of truth going on. Okay, you've got here the High Priestess. So he perceives you as somebody quite insightful, in depth, aware, eloquent is another word. He perceives you as somebody quite intuitive, psychic, of course, because anybody who's interested in readings and cards is actually quite psychic themselves. If they aren't a reader themselves, they just, how far have you taken it? That's all it is. So he perceives you as that, but it's interesting. Both people here are looking in different directions. So, if it was this way, I'd be saying you're looking at each other. Can you feel the difference between the two cards? They're actually looking at each other. They're contemplating each other. This energy is then dissipated. But when it's back to back, it's like, I don't know about this. So she's in her world, contemplating her stuff. He's psychic as well. He's very switched on and tuned in. But I don't think he's actually connecting in with it at the moment. He's shrouded with fear at the moment. There's something to do with work. Now, this work card is about, will this work? From a very practical perspective, will this work? Can I make this work? But I keep feeling with this person and their back turned to all these other cards, it's like just turning their back, keeping it to themselves and turning their back. I'll see if it wants to shift later. Sometimes the cards want to rearrange themselves. All right, so this, the Queen of Wands talks about taking action, and taking action in a way that, like, how do I relate this? What are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? Okay, so with the Queen of Wands, they actually want to take action, but they want to do it in a more tempered way, not from a male push things, make it happen. They just want to see how things go. Okay, and then you've got the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is two people, and again, you've got this back-to-back thing happening here. But in this instance, you've got them back-to-back and standing in a place of consolidated effort. So I feel that this person, even though right now they're feeling that they're keeping things together, you've got uncertainty about, can this union work? Then you've got this two people working together, and then you've got here, they're back to back, but they're not joined. Here, you've got a consolidated effort. I've got your back. That's what this card talks about. And that is a very powerful journey that this person has made, because they don't make this, I would say they haven't made this very often in their life, to actually go that distance to make that work. So this person that you're wanting to know about, what are they thinking and feeling about you? They're feeling very challenged by who you are and what you bring to the table in every dimension of what you're about, because as psychic as what you are and intuitive is what they are as well. And they can feel how you've already influenced them and their life by the things that you've said and what you've broached in your conversations with each other. So let's have a look at the second deck of cards. All right, and see where the next layer is taking us and what it's going to tell us. So let's have a look at the bottom card, Rebirth. Aha, so this can happen. That's confirming what this one is saying with the back-to-back. Can it happen? Yes, it can. So it's like this is a continuation of what the first reading started with. Let's have a look. All right. Okay, so this card here is talking about new beginnings, possibilities, and feeling like this is the two tarot cards. There's the Queen of Pentacles or coins, and then you've got the Princess, the next one down. So that's saying that in this, I feel that in this possibility with this other person, both of you are challenged by entering into a space that you've never been before, like in a deep space, very challenged. And the cards here are talking about a mirror of each other, a projection, literally. It's like you're looking in the mirror. So many times you see yourself in this other person. So be mindful of this journey about how the discussion is about the other person, how much of it is about you. So, you know, they may even divulge something very personal about themselves that you have admitted to yourself, but not to anybody else. And all you can say in acknowledging how they've, you know, that they've actually said something is to say, I understand, I know where you're coming from, but maybe you may not admit that yourself. Maybe you will. It depends on how honest you feel you can be. But if they've been that honest, you can as well. That's the thing. So I see this union between you and this other person, whatever connection you have, as being very much a mirror on the wall type of a union, where whatever you feel, and this is a way of really healing yourself as well, or shifting into a better space, is if whatever you feel annoys you about them is what you need to shift and heal in yourself, or just to simply accept that aspect of yourself. We all are every trait. We all have every trait. So if you look at them and go, oh, you know what, I don't really like the fact that they're intolerant, or they're so intolerant, or whatever. It's like, well, what part of you is intolerant? And it's time now to accept that about myself and to integrate that acceptance of that intolerance. And then the energy shifts. And so this person has the potential to create a huge rebirth for you. But in themselves, this is what's occurring, because they are tired of having to, or feeling like they're having to keep everything to themselves. They've looked at themselves, they've looked at their life, they're quite self-aware, and they've gone, you know what, I'm tired of this charade. It's time for me to move forward. But for that to happen, it means they've got to go through a shift. They've got to go through a rebirth of sorts. So this is talking about the energy of seeing that, being aware of the two and how you project on each other. And in a lot of cases, we do. It's just to what degree. And most people will only think that the projection is a negative projection, where in fact, excuse me, that the projection quite often can be about anything. If it's good, you adore somebody, and that's a projection of what's in you. So, you know, honor both parts as well. So the Seven of Cups talks about illusions of success. And this person is needing to wake up to themselves in a way and feel as if, you know, and just take a good hard look at themselves, because I really feel that they've lived a life around a lot of ego-driven, the things that they've done have fed their ego. And right now, that's not occurring. Those things aren't occurring anymore. That was something that they did in the past. And so they've identified themselves as these things that were really quite successful. But now, when you tear away those masks and the charades that they've been living behind, it's something completely different. Hence the necessity for rebirth. The Ace of Stones, this is abundance. And this is talking about, you know, a reward, a prize, feeling as if they've won something or come across something of great value. So from a thinking, feeling perspective about you, it feels and appears to me as if they feel that they've come across something very precious, and that they find it incredibly rewarding, the fact that there's a possibility of having, you know, something more to do with you, and, you know, deepening what you have had in the past, or anything at all. So the card here of the Mother, this is like the Queen of Cups. This talks about mothering issues, motherhood. This person may be thinking about you as a potential mother for their children. Would they be any good as a mother? Are they like my mother, good or bad? And also the potential for healing mother issues in both of you, because of, and I feel that that's really strong. And that's what ultimately a lot of intimate relationships are about. We are drawn, we have more than one soulmate, more than, you know, one significant person in our life here to help us to heal our greatest wounds is through our intimate relationships. Hence the desire to connect, other than just to have children. It's bringing out the good and the bad in each other to be able to be loved for who we are. And these and mother energy is the primary female energy. It's the energy that everything comes from. All source is given birth from the female, the divine feminine energy. And if that's been wounded, if there's wounding in that, this energy, this person is feeling a connection with you to that mother energy. And for them to feel that, to confront it, to bring it to the fore, to become aware of it, is something profound for them. And in that regard, I feel that they feel very connected to you because of the positive aspects of the mothering of themselves. And that may have come from an older woman, a grandmother, an aunt, something like that. And then you've got the Nine of Stones, which is, or the Nine of Pentacles, materialistic gain. So that's another card of abundance. You've got abundance here and abundance here. So from a financial perspective, I feel that, again, there's reward, there's finances around, but they're feeling and thinking that, you know, you bring an element of richness into their lives. Okay, and let's have a look at the last one. So, group 2, let's have a look and see what this person, where they're coming from. Heart-to-heart conversations. That's what needs to be had. Love yourself first. It's safe for you to love, and that's what their fear is. Okay, so I'm feeling here, love yourself first. This is where you don't cheapen yourself by having no respect for yourself or lacking self-respect. If somebody appears to snub you, ghost you, not want to have anything to do with you for whatever reason, leave them be, go do your own thing. Set your own boundaries, have respect for yourself, and don't go crawling after somebody, chasing them, wanting something that they haven't got to give. If they're not if somebody isn't interested in you, don't take it personally. Whatever they're doing is their business. Move on. Focus on your own life. Hang out with your friends. Do what makes you feel happy. but always put your own self-respect first. Don't cheapen yourself or lower yourself for somebody else's standards, or perhaps hoping that they'll like you more if you do XYZ, because it doesn't work that way. If anything, they'll have less respect for you. Okay, so this card is key in this reading. All right, if they're holding back, if they're not wanting to, communicate, be honest, leave them to that space. A heart-to-heart conversation is what's required to be able to find out honestly where this person's at. Okay, it is safe for you to love, and this is where their issues are as well. They're not, how do I put it? They're scared to love, okay? Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. When you don't have any expectations, and when you look like that, that looks like there's lights and candles all around that I feel that this person, if they can get over their fear of loving, of opening their heart, then there's a big chance that something very, very special can occur. It all depends on to what degree you'd like to see that, you want that to happen. It could be that you end up, and you might not want to hear this, but you end up very, very good friends. But you are able to keep each other in your lives because you value each other, as opposed to, a relationship. Religious factors. So this is where people have different values based on their upbringing, based on where they perceive themselves as, based on their own influences and values, traits, and how they've been, for want of a better word, conditioned in their life. So I feel this person, whether they're aware of it or not, they're very connected, or attached would be a better word, to their values. Like, no, it's not like that, it's like this. And you could see that as a bit controlling, and to a degree it is. Like, I was going to say, in a way, when people are like that, they're very attached to their values. It's almost like they've closed their mind off to what else they could have or achieve in their life. So for him or the other person, they need to keep their mind open, but so do you, okay? So there's a difference of religious factors, which in a relationship may cause an issue, but in a friendship or a sustaining a relationship that the expectations are released, then you've got freedom to accept the person. Once we start an intimate relationship, unfortunately, we tend to put all these expectations, unconscious expectations on the other person. They've got to do this, they've got to do that, they've got to be this, they've got to be that, blah, blah, blah. We don't realize it, but we do. But as soon as that relationship shifts, even if you just think about somebody having a relationship with them and then shift it into friendship, like deep, caring friendship, the way you would with a friend of someone you've known for a long time, the whole thing shifts. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter this, it doesn't matter that, because it's a friendship. And so this religious factors is a differing of opinion, differing of values, and differing of a way, a perspective. And if you both opened your mind, you could learn a lot from each other's different perspectives. And it's worth making the effort. It is definitely worth making the effort with this person, because they are wanting to connect. They're wanting to do things differently this time. They don't want to end up the same way that they have before. They want to be friends first. not just friends first and that's all, but they want a deep, loving, caring, respectful friendship first and foremost. And then if anything comes of that, fine. But if that's all it is, that will be well and truly worth the effort both of you put into it. So to love and adore this person, love yourself first. Set your boundaries. Have a heart-to-heart conversation with this person. And know that through all of this, it is definitely worth it to make the effort and to keep an open mind. But don't be in a hurry with this person. The biggest, quickest way to scare them off is to want to make something happen straight away. You won't get the best from them if you push. Leave them to do what they need to do. And when the time's right, it will all open up and you can love them for who they are and it will be worth it. Okay, number 2, I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and hit the like button and the subscribe and the notifications for your next reading when it pops up again. Thank you. Hey, group 3, you chose the Citrine. It's an absolutely beautiful piece. It's really lovely. And let's have a look at what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now. I'm just going to point that this direction. It's a pretty piece. I'll have a look at it. Okay. So, what are they thinking and feeling about you right now? Oh, this is lovely. All right. So, it appears as if underneath the card, the foundation, is the card of success. You've got celebration, success. You've got the card of the lovers. The lovers card is indicative of a relationship. And it appears as if this person that we're speaking about, looks as if there's been some... All right. It looks as if this person has gone through... It feels as if they were kidding themselves about something. And I feel that in that process, there was a realization, and this person has come to the realization that they have... It feels like what you had between you was really good while it was happening. But there was something within this person that wasn't quite fulfilled, if they were honest about themselves. But the thing is that what was unfulfilled in them wasn't anything that could have come from another person. It was something within themselves that they needed to find and reveal and not blame somebody else for not being what they couldn't find in themselves. And that's what I feel there's been a miscommunication, but a misunderstanding of that. This person has misunderstood something in themselves. So what you have is this illusion of, because the Lovers card is all about wanting something more, being in a beautiful relationship, but wanting something more. He's got this lovely woman here, and there's this other woman here, and he's like, what about that? That would be, maybe that's better, like the grass is greener type of thing. But the fact is, the grass is only as green as you want to see it wherever you are, no matter how many fences open up or gates open up. So the Lovers card talks about this relationship that feels like, there was celebration around it, there was success, But then there's this person saying, you know what, I think there's more for me somewhere. But I feel that they were kidding themselves, that really they needed to look in themselves for something that was missing. The magician talks about manifesting something. So I feel that they thought that they may have been able to find it somewhere in the workplace. Maybe they spent a lot of time at work. Maybe they thought that they could throw their net further. Why I'm saying that is because the Seven of Pentacles is saying that, you know, you've planted your seeds, you're waiting for your crop to come to fruition, and it's not happening quickly enough, but you're not to give up, because it will continue to, you know, it'll eventually come through for you. So I feel as if they've wanted to make things change in their world. They've gone and done all these things that, you know, bought a new car, gone and done whatever it is, and now they're gone, but it hasn't happened. What am I, you know, it hasn't happened. It's supposed to happen. You know, I went and done everything I could to make myself happy. That, you know, it may have been the very thing. I'm not happy in this relationship, so off they went, type of thing. Or I'm not happy with XYZ. But the thing is, it's not your responsibility to make somebody else happy. It's your responsibility to make you happy, to do what it takes to make you happy, to find your happiness. And to leave them to find their happiness. And if you spend time together, loving each other, that brings each of you happiness, then beautiful. But it's not your job to make them happy. Okay? And that is a really hard lesson for a lot of people, particularly guys, because they feel that if their partner isn't happy, then they've done something wrong, which is, I think it's how they're wired. I've spoke with a lot of guys about this, and it's how they're wired. But ultimately, some people can't be pleased, and some people will never be happy until they do some really deep soul searching. So understand this, that if this person's gone off seeking their happiness, and maybe they've blamed you for not being happy within the relationship, you know, maybe they think they've outgrown the relationship. Maybe they think it's time they moved on for greener pastures. Then, you know, because I'm seeing, then they need to go and experience that experience. But what I'm feeling is that this person has been left disappointed and feeling defeated by what they've gone and done. That's why I thought the reading was a lovely reading to start off with, because it started off looking really positive, but then you've got the card of disappointment and the card of defeat. You've got the card of balancing things out and friendship, but then you've got conflict over the top of it. But the conflict, to me, is all about the inner conflict, the inability, I'll move these cards over, the inability of this person to see what they need to see in themselves, okay? So I'm really feeling that this person has been left disappointed by what has gone on, and I'm going to say that, and it may sound brutal, but they've done it to themselves. They've gone and done something that, you know, has not played out the way they'd wanted it to, and it has left them disappointed and defeated. But there's still, you know, there's still conflict, inner conflict, and they're not understanding that they need to resolve this part of them that wants this with this part of them that wants that. And if they were to do what's called an NLP parts integration, they would find that that would solve that issue. That ultimately, whatever those two parts want is the same thing, which is love and happiness in their life. But, you know, that's another story. So I'm feeling that balancing out, that I feel that there's friendship, there's, you know, there's an element of peace in this. And I'm feeling in this energy here, strangely enough, this is actually the key card, this energy of balancing it out and peace between the two of you is where you both find what you were initially seeking in each other to be able to fulfill the lesson and purpose of your time together. It's in this card. It's to be able to have peace within yourself and to deepen that within the two of you. And what comes from that is that has got the potential to be incredibly powerful, regardless of whether it's a relationship, a friendship, or whether you never speak with each other again. There is powerful energy in this peace that the two of you have the capacity to bring each other over and above the conflict, the defeat, and the disappointment. Okay, so this is it. If you have to take this to a soul level, then that's where it's at. That's the lesson, to be at peace with XYZ. Okay, so let's have a look here and see what else what else this person, what they're really thinking and feeling about you. Yeah, see, there you go. You've got the Five of Swords and the Five of Swords, both of them, two different decks. Okay. The Ace of Swords. Let's have a look here. All right. Wow. It's a bit of heavy stuff going on here. So whatever went down with this person, they weren't meant to keep pushing, because the Five of Swords, when it comes up, it talks about a door shutting in their face and them not able to go any further. So they couldn't have taken anything any further themselves. They actually need to cut away the dead wood and to be able to, so that it feels to me like they were carrying, this is more about their truth, like seeing it from their perspective, seeing it through their eyes. They were carrying a burden that they thought was too much to bear. They felt like they needed to move on and journey on their own, and they took it as far as they could. And to me, there's a card missing here. Okay, they took it as far as they could. The Hierophant is card of journeying on your own, and I'm feeling that they've tried to do things in a way, like it's over the card of the Seven of Pentacles, and you've got the Chariot. With the Chariot talks about victory, it talks about having a win, but it also talks about willpower. So it's like you plant bean seeds, you can't use your willpower to make them grow any faster than what they grow. And that's the thing, you can't push certain things. And it feels like this person was trying to push something, was trying to make something happen with their own willpower. And possibly, I'm not saying ego, but possibly their own ego. They wanted something to happen. And as much as they thought they could charm people, it feels to me that moving house, changing jobs, whatever was going on for them, that it didn't wash. Okay? You've got the Wheel of Fortune here, things changing. You've got the Queen of Wands, and she's making things happen, but not in a quick way, the way the King of Wands would. So she's a fire energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarian, but it's all about making things happen from a more gentler perspective, turning things around. And you've got here the Ace of Swords, which is about cutting away dead wood, okay? Clearing the burden. And whatever this person thought they could have done by thinking that they needed to get something better, move on to something better, was definitely not the right thing to do. And how are they feeling about you right now? And how are they, really thinking and feeling about you right now? I'm feeling that they're wondering if there's a chance to be able to turn things around, okay? And make things, you know, turn it around, make it happen, make it worthwhile, and go from there. So let's have a look at the last deck of cards. All right, is there a chance? Is there a chance? That's what they're asking. All right. So you've got you've got finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. And how does that go with what are they really thinking and feeling about you now? It's like this card is saying release your ex. This is saying healing family issues. So there's romantic feelings are still there between the two of you. You to them, them to you. Okay? But this is saying release your ex. This is saying from a practical perspective, getting back together or staying together, it would make sense. But from a heart perspective, is that just going to perpetuate something that someone's not happy about? So this is healing family issues. So to me, it feels that it could be that this person hasn't released their attachments to another ex. It could be that they're coming back to you after being with somebody else. But ultimately, having faith and staying optimistic about your love life is where it ends. There's a blessing here. There's a healing in your family, and this other person, ultimately, it feels like you have this gift of peace, this gift of being able to turn something around. Not what they thought originally they were trying to do, but something of far greater value. And that's why they couldn't find it. That's why they couldn't see it to start off with, because they weren't aware enough. They were starting looking from something little. But this is something from a life purpose perspective. This is coming through from the Akashic records, from a past life that is here to heal both of you, plus the family members that are closely connected in with the dynamics around you. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. I really feel that ultimately what you have here is an opportunity to heal and shift and grow and move through this to something that is going to be so rewarding for you. Like, I can feel it. It's just beautiful. But it's staying positive and having faith that will bring you the romance and the love that you're ultimately looking for. And take the goodness that you've experienced with you and leave the rest behind. Cut it away, let it go, release it. That's where the healing is. Okay, so group 3, I hope you've enjoyed your reading. Hit like and subscribe and the bell and be notified when there's a next reading on, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Hey group 4, you chose the geode. It's very beautiful. It's got a lot of layers and marbling through it, and it sparkles beautifully. I hope you can see that. Okay, so we're about to start your reading. I'm going to leave that there so that you can see it. And what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? Okay, so hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified of any readings that I post. And let's see what is going on. All right. Okay. All right. It appears as if there has been... All right, let's have a look. So, what are they really thinking and feeling about you right now? So, they're at a bit of a loss to try and figure out what has happened. It appears as if there's been something that's happened that has just sort of out of the blue, and they've been taken a bit by surprise, and they're trying to figure out how to work around it when it happened so fast. All right, so the moon is telling me that. Underneath this, you've got the card of craftsmanship or mastery. So and then you've got the magician on the other side. So I'm feeling that this person is a pretty switched on person. They know what they want. They know where they're coming from. They know how to move through the world, navigate through situations. And it feels to me as if something has occurred in their world that has really, it's like pulled the rug out from under their feet, literally. What you have here is the card of nightmares and the card of defeat. So that to me is saying that, and it feels like, even though the Tower card isn't here, it feels like something has happened very suddenly and has given them a lot of issues. So this talks about subconscious energy coming up through your dreams, and whether they're aware of it or not, this, whatever's been going on for them, has been coming up for a while, but they've just sort of pushed it away. They're probably Libran energy or something like that, because that's typically what Librans do. They like to push it under the carpet, but in this instance, it's come back up and slapped them in the face, and something has happened where a door has been shut and they can't move on any further. So, being the person they are, they're looking at it and going, they've got they've got the mother and father energy here. Now, to me, when I look at this, I think, where are you in this? Where are you factored in this reading? Because I'm looking at this and going, there's parents, there's potentially a child here. This could be a child. This is the Prince of Wands is a younger male, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarian, or a fire sign, someone who's very on the go, very active, very, they could have a fire sign moon sign, or something else that's significant in their chart. But to me, it's like I'm looking at, defeat is saying, I can't go any further with this, whatever's going on. And if it was their work, they've moved. They've changed, the other meaning for this card is changing jobs, moving house. Something has happened in their world where a door has shut. And this person, and it's happened quite suddenly for them. And when it did, it caused a lot of upheaval. And I'm looking at them and going, okay, that's fine, but what about you? Where are they factoring you in? And I'm saying that again because I'm not feeling that they're considering you in this. I'm sort of seeing you standing here waving your hand going, what about me? I would like to help you with this, or I would like to help you with that. Your parents are really, whoever the main adult parent figures are in their life, are strong in the relationship. If this is representing a child, or a strong-willed child, the child's in their life, but I'm not seeing how they think that where you are in this situation. And I'm really feeling that for you, if you're wanting to factor into this, you need to be courageous and speak up and say, you know what, am I here or am I not? And find out where you really stand, because that's the only way that this person is going to really get where you're coming from. I'm feeling that ultimately what they're wanting to do is to ensure that their home life is stable, that, you know, they are a caring person, they are a loving person, but they're not showing that to you. And I'm, you know, in the rest of the reading, I'm going to find out what's actually going on. Because, you know, where are they? Where's the factor, the influencing factors? The other thing could be, this could be you. It doesn't feel like it is though. If it was, I would have picked it up. This has come out, so let's have a look. Two of Swords, that's good. Yeah, the Tower card. Yeah, there's been huge change for this person. Yep. All right. So, the Two of Swords indicates peace. It talks about balance. It talks about having two things going on at once, but ultimately coming to a place of peace. They just want peace. It feels to me as if something very sudden has happened, like what I spoke about here, and their world has come falling down around them. They're trying to scramble to make things work. They're trying to pull it all together. And I can tell you now, it's not that they don't care about you. They are trying to make things work for themselves. So where I said, where are you in all of this? You're there, but right now their focus is somewhere else. So it's really important, because I can see this Six of the Victory card here. There's connection. I can see that coming through that earlier energy is there's peace, there's victory, there's connection. And even though this person has experienced, a lot of challenges very recently, and I would say even now, I'm feeling that, you've starting to make inroads with them. And for some reason, I have to say inroads as opposed to things are opening up. It feels like you're making inroads. And the thing is, it's like, do you want it that badly that you need to feel like you're pushing or fighting for something that maybe or maybe not is or isn't available? So just be mindful of that, and give yourself space. Go and do things for yourself. Go and cherish yourself and be around people who want to be around you. And if this person needs space, which I'm feeling they do, time for reflection. The card here is the card of connection. They do want to connect with you. They do want to talk. They do want, they do want you in their life, but they also feel like they need, and the key word here is but, they also feel like they need to come to terms with a lot of other things as well. And the card here, the Devil, you've got the Devil's Advocate. You've got two words, the Devil, Advocate. You're playing the Devil's Advocate. Is that really what you want for yourself? Okay, so I'm feeling this person isn't coming from, they're not doing anything deliberately to hurt you, but nor are they doing anything really to show that they care as much as what you're wanting, okay? And don't play into the energy of it and be disrespectful to yourself to try and get more energy from them, because there is somebody around you that has got something far greater to offer you, somebody else, okay? So this is Yeah. See, this is where this reading with this person is. It's codependent. It's like you want to be needed. And so where their world is falling apart, you feel that while ever you're helping them out, that, you're going to be needed, and that's how you feel loved. But ultimately, that isn't love. That's just another way of, that's your way of feeling loved, but it's not, that's a pattern. It's not love. It's an unconscious pattern that you've inherited and taken up based on where you grew up, what your lineage is of patterning. And for you, with this other person, it would only continue in codependence, okay? And usually the other person, there's an addiction going on, okay, of some sort. And your addiction is to keep fixing people, sorting them out, fixing up their problems. But you put that aside, you cut that away, that codependent patterning, and you will find that there is somebody else in your life, and they are worth waiting for. This soulmate person, you're calling in your soulmate. There is passion, and they are worth waiting for. And once this other person that you actually initially started the reading wondering, what are they really thinking and feeling about me? You wouldn't give them the time of day once you meet this other person, this one. And I'm feeling they are 2 to 3 months in your time frame from the time of this reading. So put that in your diary and note. And I'm seeing a T word, like a Tim, a Timothy, something like that. SIMTIM, some sort of name like that, whether it's like a Simon's, a surname, or a first name. So I'm feeling that leave the other person to their journey. Don't try to fix them. They don't need helping. They're actually strong enough to do it on their own. And within 2 to 3 months, you will meet this person. And I'm feeling this person is it for you. They are your forever person, and they are going to be somebody who makes you so happy. And you do the same for them. You don't need to be perfect. You are their perfect. And that's all that needs to happen. And I am so happy for you, Group 4, because this is your happy ending. You are going to be, and I didn't mean it that way, you are going to be so happy because it's worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Soulmate. This person coming into your life is your soulmate. You've got passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy, and you are calling them in. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Okay? And you leave the old behind. So if you were calling in your soulmate, but they were all, and you thought it was this, and all of this is the mess from the past, when this person steps into your world, they've already taken care of anything that was anything like that. They don't need you to fix anything. They've got their life sorted. They've got their stuff together, their act together. They don't have any addictions that take over their life. They're not broke. They're not going to take money from you. They don't do drugs. They're not a heavy drinker, smoker, whatever. They're actually a healthy person. And they're going to make your world a whole heap. There's a lot of enrichment in your life because this person comes into your world. And I just see it being beautiful how it blossoms. So, group number 4, I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and like and subscribe and hit that bell, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you so much. I'm Sophia.